What up? It's Trent Out Loud, and I'm back with another episode. All right, depending on what time zone you're in, it's Thursday night, but for some of y'all, it's Friday! My favorite day of the week. Well, for y'all, tomorrow will be for me, but yo, it's Friday, Thursday night. Yo, regardless of wherever you are in the world, the weekend is upon us. And y'all know that gets me very excited. All right, today we have a great show set up for you guys. In breaking news, Wiz Khalifa could be facing prison time. Behind the feed and off the record, Candace Owens sits down and speaks with Piers Morgan. Lead stories, we're going to give you guys our thoughts on Donald Trump's address to the nation. Also, Congress is going home early. They have Friday off. I wonder why. The Epstein files were supposed to be released on Friday. Also, Debra Newton is arrested after 40 years. In quick news, we're going to talk Netflix, the Diddy doc, typing in 6'7" into Google, the Oscars, YouTube, 50 Cent, and Jim Jones. In social discussion, what is your favorite non-physical trait in your partner? Why men give advice to their ladies? Do you hold your partner accountable? And how men judge other men based off their lady. As always, we're going to close out the show with questions and comments of the day. Y'all know what time it is. Turn your TVs, radio, your devices up. Come on. The weekend is upon us, and I'm about to start this show. Let's go. All right, our breaking story. Wiz Khalifa could be facing prison time in Romania as reports say he's working to appeal his DRUG sentence. Wiz Khalifa was sentenced to prison time in Romania after being convicted on DRUG-related charges. Romania authorities say the rapper was found in possession with illegal substances, and following a trial in Romanian court, he received a custodial sentence. According to the report, Khalifa's team may pursue an appeal, but as it stands, he is expected to serve time under Romanian law. Now, for those of you who don't know what custodial sentence means, it means a punishment, a criminal punishment where a person is deprived of their liberty and held in a detention facility, usually a prison, as opposed to a fine or community service or what have you. Now, we did reach out to some people close to the situation, and here is what we got back, okay? Wiz Khalifa is not presently in Romania. And a little bit to backtrack, after his arrest in July 2024 for having that Bob Marley, as you all know that Wiz Khalifa likes to do, on stage at the music festival called Please, he was briefly detained and then released. He left the country and he has been outside of Romania as the case was unfolding. So this was last year. As of December the 18th, 2025, he is almost certain not to ever be in Romanian custody. They want to make that clear. There is presently no exact determination on what the Romanian authorities are going to do. Okay. On December the 18th, the Court of Appeal in Romania issued a final sentence against Wiz Khalifa. He was sentenced to 9 months in prison for illegal possession of DRUG and personal use of that Bob Marley related to the 2024 festival incident. The previous ruling, a simple fine, was overturned and replaced by a custodial sentence. So at first there was a fine, now it is a sentence of 9 months. Now the question I want to know, and what everybody wants to know, is will he actually go to jail? Sorry about that. Will he actually go to jail? Now here is the response. The Romanian court has definitely ruled that he must serve 9 months imprisonment, but like I said earlier, he is not physically in Romania. Since he is not in custody at the time that the decision was remained final, Romanian authorities would likely need to issue an arrest warrant if he returns to the country. Then they could attempt to enforce the sentence under criminal law. Now, we all know about extradition. If he stays outside of Romania, it's less likely he will be arrested or jailed, unless Romania requests an extradition from the US or another country. Extradition for a minor DRUG possession is rare, and the legal and diplomatic factors would strongly influence whether the US authorities would cooperate. Extradition is not automatic, and many countries decline such requests for related low-level offenses like that Bob Marley. Now, that is what we have for now. Important to note, though, and what this person said that Wiz Khalifa's team is worried about is Wiz Khalifa. They told me not to say exactly where he is, but let's just assume he's in the US. Romania, if they decide to send an extradition, the US will automatically just be like, no, are you crazy? No. But the thing to worry about, or his team is worried about, is let's say because he is a traveling artist, he is in another country that may have ties to Romania that might approve an extradition charge. If he is there at a concert, they might send an extradition charge to that country. And if they're close, they'll be like, yeah, sure. They'll apprehend him and extradite him to Romania. So the team, Wiz Khalifa's team, is actively obviously trying to appeal this, but are now worried about Wiz and his touring schedule because nothing is definitive. So they're going to be very careful on where Wiz performs. That's the latest. If you ask me, I don't think he's going to end up serving time. This is something that is a low level. But if you guys heard, Cardi B was just out in Saudi Arabia and she landed, I don't know if we put this in the show, but she was like, hey, I know y'all rules out here. I know how your country works. I'm not here to play. I'll wear my hijab. I will not do this. I will not do that, or whatever. And a lot of countries are using celebrities to make an example that and say, hey, what you could do whatever you want in the US, but when you come here, no, you're going to abide by our rules. So that is why Romania is putting their foot down. A lot of countries are doing this. So I don't want to take it off the table. From what I'm hearing, Wiz Khalifa's team is taking this very seriously. So we'll leave it up from there and let you guys know if anything happens. Until then, let me know what you guys think about this in the comment section below. All right, in our first and only story behind the feed and off the record, Candace Owens once again. Candace Owens went on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan puts Candace Owens on the spot for accusing TPUSA of a cover-up. Morgan said, when you say that somebody at TPUSA was complicit in the unaliving of Charlie Kirk, who was it? Okay. I'm going to answer that question in a second. I just want to read to you that headline because I think that's like the most important question, and we're going to get to it. Before that, I just want to backtrack a little and play a clip of, for me, what I think is the most important thing here, because this is the one time where we have caught Candace Owens in a lie. Piers asked Candace about Erica Kirk, and his main point was also, you have been telling us for months, if Erica asks you to stop, you will stop. And what everyone is trying to figure out is, are you doing this for your friend or are you doing this for clicks and money? And you said, because you didn't anticipate Erica telling you to stop, if Erica said to stop, that you would stop, and you haven't. Piers asked her literally 10 times what happened in the meeting, and Candace deflected. Well, just to make it clear, Piers said, did Erica Kirk tell you to stop in that meeting, the private meeting that you guys had for 4.5 hours? And she goes, she kind of really didn't directly ask me. Well, then, and then Piers said, did she ask you? Did she? She kind of bobbed and weaved. She ultimately said, no, she didn't tell me to stop, which I find very questionable because Erica Kirk all last week on 3 different platforms, whenever the interviewer or the podcaster asked Erica, What do you have to say to Candace Owens? Erica said, stop. She said that on Fox. She said that on CBS News. And she said that on a podcast. She's like, I want her to stop. I want her to stop. I want her to stop. Because of that, they had a meeting. And you're trying to tell me in that meeting, in the 4.5 hours, Erica never said to stop in that meeting? She literally came to the meeting to have you speak to her, have you speak to her lawyer, have her speak to people at TPUSA so that you would stop. This was the point of the meeting. And Candace is going to come up and be like, she didn't directly tell me to stop. Anyways, this is frustrating, but take a listen. I'll show you a quick clip of Candace dodging the question and saying that Erica never asked her to stop. Listen.
Erica was emphatic in the CBS thing that she wanted you to stop. What's clear is you're not going to stop. So is she okay with you now continuing to talk about your theories, or does she still want you to stop?
Well, she didn't ask me to stop.
And she made no request of you whatsoever, Erica Kirk, in 4.5 hours.
Request in what sense?
About how she would like you to conduct yourself about the murder of her husband going forward.
No.
Nothing at all.
No, she didn't make a request for me to conduct myself in any way.
And she expressed no concern about any of the theories that you've been putting out.
Now, I don't want to fully throw Candace under the bus because y'all know me, I try to be fair. My question is, why isn't Erica Kirk coming out and making a statement about this meeting? Why is it Candace only? Why isn't Erica Kirk making a statement, going on a podcast, doing something? And I'm going to come to the same realization that I came to yesterday, that this is all theater for both sides. I told you guys yesterday, Candace is making millions of dollars. TPUSA has made to date since Charlie Kirk's unaliving $140 million, which is 10x what Candace is making. But I think Erica, Candace, and TPUSA and Tucker Carlson and everybody is literally treating this like theater. Let's do this. Let's do this. People will watch this. People will watch this. People will donate to us. People will donate to you. Okay, let's have everybody's. It's up to the. Okay, let's have a meeting. It will be private. But then, Candace, you for the next week, tell them everything that happened on your end. And then next week after that, I'll come out and I'll say this. And then we'll go to Tucker. And we're all here just sitting down, eating popcorn every night, clicking, donating. That's what it is. It's all for our entertainment, and it's all theater, and it's all for them to make more money. That's the only conclusion that is realistic. That's it. Because if two people meet to come to a conclusion, you come out and there is a change. Or you come out and be like, yo, I met with this girl, no change, horrible meeting, and we're both at each other. But Erica taking her time and everybody being strategic and not to overlap, and then Candace is going to say, oh, I'm going to take a week off, and that's when Erica is going to come out, so we want to leave everybody enough time to watch everybody's show. It's the new soap opera. Okay, let's get back to what everyone's talking about from Piers Morgan's interview. Well, the second thing. And then we're going to go to Chris Cuomo and then my comment section. So this is a transcript that came out. Owens, I believe there are multiple people at Turning Point who are engaged in the cover-up. Piers Morgan replied to that was, but were any of them engaged in planning the unaliving of Charlie Kirk? Owens replies, I wouldn't know how it was planned. I cannot confidently make that statement. Piers Morgan asked, did anybody at Turning Point, in your opinion, know that Charlie Kirk was going to be unalived? Candace Owens, there is specifically 2 people at Turning Point USA that I would not be surprised if they had advanced knowledge of Charlie Kirk being unalived. And I gave those names to Erica. Piers Morgan, and what evidence do you have that they had prior knowledge of the unaliving? And Owen's answer is, I don't have any concrete evidence. which is the reason why I'm not naming names. Do you see the deflection? Do you see the gray area? Piers is trying to highlight, and people are trying to highlight with this portion of the interview. If you don't know, why do you keep talking? Either you know or you don't know. And then on the show, you also say, I'm going to tell you more tomorrow. I also know more, but I can't say more. And then also talk about the planes tomorrow. And then, there's another. Like, if you know something, know something. If you don't know, don't know something. Like, it's getting annoying. But if you are strategically planning out a soap opera, for those of you who've ever watched soap operas, you will know that this is the way a soap opera will unfold, right? Or a streaming show. Like, there's 12 episodes. We got to keep giving you a little, keep giving you a little, keep giving you a little, throw you a monkey wrench, episode 6. Wow. All right. Mid-season break. Then this is what it is, man. Like, you either have something or you don't. Anyways, of course, a lot of people are weighing in, and I wanted to play for you something from Chris Cuomo, formerly of CNN. And I want to play this because he said the exact same thing about Candace's video directly, the video that she made directly after the meeting.
4.5 hours later, I'm alive. I'm totally fine, and I'm sorry. I was going to do a show for you guys this evening, but I am truly exhausted. This probably should have happened a very long time ago, but I wanted to let you guys know that I am alive.
I am alive? You talk about performative. And then she's at a party with the same people? I mean, come on, man. Pick up on the game already and stop rewarding people for playing you.
It's the exact same thing I said. It's very performative. Guys, I'm alive. Like, this is serious. This is trying to find the truth about one of your best friends who was unalived. And you're, hey guys, I'm alive. Okay, the meeting was really good. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Here, this is the hype for tomorrow. Come on. And then I told you guys yesterday also too, you go to Tucker Carlson's Christmas party, and you're like, I don't know if there was TPUSA people there. People are alleging that I was talking to people from TPUSA. There's 700 people in that company. I don't know who's there. Why are you going to a party with people that you are potentially thinking might have something to do with the unaliving of your best friend? Come on, guys. This is getting a little bit crazy. Now, there's 2 people in my comment section that I want to address. So this is like comment of the day, but bringing up a little higher. And by the way, thank you for your comment. Keith said, dude, she is not profiting off of Charlie. She already had a large audience, and it doubled during the Brigitte French guy when all French colony countries in Africa were interested in the Brigitte bombshell and started following. So by the time Charlie Kirk's series started, she was already profiting. The only difference is large audience during live shows. It's beyond her control how much people watch her, and she is not obligated to donate, so she can do whatever she wants. All right, Keith, thank you very much. And then the second comment is the Simply Spoiled. She said, and you are profiting off of Charlie Kirk's story as well. Anyways, congrats. Still love your show. By the way, this is why I love my comment section. We could disagree, and you can still congratulate me on being the top 1% video on Spotify. That's what the congrats is. So thank you very much for that. But to address the comments, and I'll address the second one to go to the first one. Am I profiting off of Charlie's story? Okay, you could technically say, because I'm putting it in my show and I profit off of my show. And let's say, for example, I did first of all, I have it in my daily show that I talk about 30 other things. Okay. So there's no way to say like that exact story about Charlie is making me profit because there's 30 things in my show. Okay. But to further make my point, let's say, for example, I did a special series on Charlie. Okay. And it was like, I'm just going to review Candace, and it went viral and I got 1 million views off of it. Charlie Kirk's not my best friend. I am a YouTuber. So as a YouTuber, my job is to take the stories that are most relevant, most popular, bring them to you guys, bring you the facts, and have you watch it. That's my job. You know what the difference is? Charlie Kirk's not my best friend. That's the difference. So myself, other content creators, I don't see that they're having I don't see it as a problem for them making videos and making content off of the Charlie Kirk story or the Diddy story or the Jay-Z story or whatever we do. That is media. That is news. CNN will say, this is what's trending. Fox will say, this is what's trending. This is what people want to know. We'll bring you the story. On legacy TV, they sell ads. On YouTube, we make AdSense dollars. It's the same thing. But I'm not doing it in the spirit of saying, I just want to get to the truth about Charlie Kirk. Candace is making daily shows and daily episodes about her best friend, and she is saying the only reason why she is doing it is to get to the truth, which is not true. And going back to the first comment and why it's not true is she is making 10 times, 5 times more amount of money with solely Charlie Kirk. It's not in her show 5 minutes, that's an hour and a half long. The entire show is Charlie Kirk. And yes, when we did the diagnostics on her YouTube page 2 or 3 days ago, 100% Candace Owens has been Candace Owens. 100%. From Black Lives Matter, from when she was on Daily Wire, from since she went on her own after she got fired. But the proof is in the pudding, my friend, Keith. All her lives and all her videos were around 1 million views and 1.3 million views. When Charlie Kirk was unalived, every video after that was 5 million, and the highest one to date was 9 million. And like I said, the entire video was about Charlie Kirk. I, as a content creator, wouldn't have somebody, my family or best friend, be unalived, and I'm like, yo, I want to get to the bottom of this. I want to get to the truth because I can't trust the FBI, and make a video and have 9 million views where I'm making, let's just say, $1 million off of that, or $500,000 or whatever. And if I know the point for that is solely because I want to get to the bottom and I want to make sure that nobody in my best friend's company had anything to do with the unaliving, I wouldn't feel comfortable taking that $500,000 or $1 million, especially knowing if he or she has kids. I would say, you know what? I want to put this out there. I want to make this public, but I do not want anybody to misconstrue my intentions. And my intention is to get to the bottom of this. So I'm not going to turn AdSense dollars off, but what I'm going to do is videos where I'm solely talking about my best friend. That money goes to his children, and they go into a trust. So Erica Kirk can't touch it. Nobody at TPUSA, just my best friend's children have access to that money. And they're young now, but they'll get it, half of it at 25 and the other half at 35. Done. Or if they have like a medical emergency, done. That is how you would eradicate everybody questioning her purpose. How do you not see that? And then you have videos saying, guys, I'm alive. It's turning performative. And I have been the one who was on Candace's side for the past month or 2 months, saying, hey, I have my issues with Candace, with Black Lives Matters, and her stands on women's rights, which is, we vehemently disagree on women's rights, and her comments of women in the workplace, et cetera, et cetera. I could tell you a lot of things I disagree with Candace Owens, but I still respect her. And I said at the beginning of this, I feel like she is trying to get to the bottom of this. And I feel like we should support her. And I keep on supporting her, but just making sure that it's not for clicks and views and this or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And like I said, if you look at the tea leaves now, I don't know how you sit down with the wife of your best friend in the meeting that was called because she said stop 3 times, and you come out that meeting and be like, she didn't directly say anything to me, so stay tuned, guys. Tomorrow will be a big day. Tomorrow will be another big day. Tomorrow will be another big day. Tomorrow will be another big day. Keep watching, keep viewing, da-da-da. And that episode now is edging on like 4.5 million. But maybe Erica Kirk doesn't care. And maybe Erica Kirk's about the money too. Because she raised 140 million and we don't know where that money is going. That's why I think they're all in on it. It's all collectively for profit. All right. Charlie was unalive, let's say planned or not planned or whatever, but it's like, you know what? We're going to make money off of this. And this is how we're going to do. We're going to raise TPUSA funds. We're going to do stuff with Trump. We're going to do stuff with Candace. And we're going to do this in the name of Charlie. And we're going to turn this into something. Thank you guys for your comments. And thank you for listening. I think we should put a button on this until Erica Kirk comes out and says something. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to our first lead story. I was about to ring a bell. This brings us to our first lead story. Just wanted to follow up on yesterday's lead story where Donald Trump was addressing the nation. He did this yesterday at 9 p.m. I always like to be fair. And I alluded to the fact that Donald Trump may use this address to the nation to say something or do something to deflect from the Epstein files coming out on Friday and or something else. A couple of people have speculated the same thing. To Donald Trump's credit, he used his 15 minutes that the networks gave him to talk about the economy and, you know, everything that he has done and not done. Of course, he still blamed Biden and blamed everybody else or whatever. It wasn't a turning of the page. We didn't get a new Donald Trump. We got the same Donald Trump. But to his credit, he didn't use the time as a deflection or to take over the media landscape like I and some other people thought. So just to be fair, he didn't do that. Asterisks. My new thing is asterisks now. Remember, it used to be like, however. Anyways, asterisks. A lot of people said, oh, he seemed like he was rushing. He seemed that he was yelling at us. He didn't seem like the normal Trump. And for those of you who don't know, the networks only gave him 15 minutes. And a lot of people didn't know this, that when you have a presidential address and you have to take over stations, even the president of the United States has to ask for this time, and the networks together will agree on the time, depending on what it's for. And they all agreed that they would only give him 15 minutes. And normal Trump, yes, will follow a script, but you know he likes to ad-lib and go off on his own. And I think that's why people are like, oh, he wasn't his best or this, he seemed that or whatever, blah, blah, blah. When you're a type of person, for example, like me, who's very talkative and likes to dare and ramble sometimes and go off, on a podcast, that's one thing. But if a network is like, yo, you have 15 minutes to do the Trent Out Loud show that you normally do in half an hour or do it your way. So again, not trying to make excuses for him or whatever, but to be fair, he wasn't given a carte blanche amount of time. So that's why you maybe saw a different Trump, and even his cadence and the way that he was speaking about things was different. It's because he didn't have an undetermined allotted amount of time. That's my assessment. Let me know what you guys think about the address in the comment section below. Our second lead story. Congress is going home early, one day before the Epstein files are due. The Epstein files are due to be sent to Congress by Friday, December the 19th. But if they arrive, Republicans won't be there to see it. Mike Johnson has canceled House votes on Friday and is sending members home early for the holidays, a day early. Johnson made a similar move back in July when he sent Congress home a week early for the summer break to avoid voting to release the Epstein files. So this is twofold here. There's the Epstein files that are due on Friday. So I don't know what that's going to mean. Like it's sent, but it just sits there till January. Weird. But there's also the fact that the insurance rates and the medical system and what Congress is going to do is still up in the air, and sending them at home a day early helps avoid that. By the time when they come back, rates are already locked in, people have to make a decision, and the Republicans kind of like indirectly win. So this is twofold. It's the Epstein file and the Medicare, Medicaid insurance crisis. And I don't know how you Republicans feel about that. I don't know how MAGA feels about that. Some people are calling it chess, not checkers. It's a move. It's a move. But I think what we've seen for the past, let's say 3 months or 4 months, like Mike Johnson did in the summer. Okay, you sent them home a week early. Okay, they weren't able to vote on the Epstein files. You eventually have to. So if you're trying to deflect now in December, it's still going to come up in January or in February or whatever. And or the healthcare crisis, you want to avoid it over the holidays? Okay, you're just going to come up in January, et cetera, et cetera. And guess what? All this deflection, people get to vote in the midterms. 2026 is an election year. So I just don't see this deflection and abating what point it makes. It's just going to reflect poorly on you in the midterms. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, in our third lead story, arrest made in missing child case decades later. Yeah, more like 4 decades later. Okay, this story is about to take over headlines. I'm just warning you right now. That's why you guys watch this show. But remember, you heard it here first. Debra Newton lived under the alias Sharon Neely for nearly 40 years, raising her daughter, Michelle. She moved from Kentucky with her daughter, and her husband, Joe, was supposed to meet them in Georgia. When he arrived, his wife and daughter had disappeared. The case went cold and was closed when police couldn't find the father, Joe. But 40 years later, a Crime Stopper tip led police to find Debra living under this alias, Sharon. I'm sure there's a lot of more details to come out of the case, but right now, this is going to take over crazy headlines. Because you are a husband and wife. You guys have a daughter. Okay. Maybe let's move to Georgia. Okay. My wife says, we're going to go first. You meet us there. Who knows? Maybe they have a house or something to take care of or whatever. So I, the husband, Joe, I'm going to stay here, hold everything down, and then come out and meet you. So I now go out to Georgia and meet them and be like, hey, where are you guys? Gone. But then, obviously, Joe just like, hey, my wife and daughter, I don't know where they are. Investigation. All of a sudden, Joe's gone. Joe can't be found. So the police are like, the wife, daughter, gone. Joe, gone. Let's close this case down. Then a Crime Stopper tip comes in and they're like, yo, we found Michelle. She's now Sharon. Sorry, is Michelle the daughter? Sorry. We found Debra, who was under the alias of Sharon, and we found Michelle. And we also found Joe, and we're going to unite Joe back with Michelle. Hey, what happened? Like, why did Sharon and Michelle vanish? And then why did Joe vanish? There's obviously something that happened more with this story. Doesn't actually add up and make sense. Here's a quick video. Take a listen.
This story is going to be the next big true crime documentary. Mark my words. Now, what you're about to watch is body cam footage from the police arresting this woman, Debra Newton, also known as her alias Sharon Neely, after she kidnapped her own daughter 40 years ago.
Hey! How you doing, Miss Sharon? Good, how are you? Pretty good. Uh-oh, they're coming for you, Sharon! They don't want me. They want Reggie. What's up?
Well, we're here for you, ma'am. Definitely here for you.
Why?
We'll do it in the front, okay?
Eventually, Michelle linked up with some long-lost family members, and details started to not quite add up. And then a simple Crime Stoppers tipped off the police that Debra Newton was living in Florida under the alias Sharon Neely. Police then conducted a DNA test with Debra's sister, and it was a 99.9% match. They knew they had their woman. 40 years after the fact, this woman was on the FBI's top 8 wanted parental fugitives, and she gets nabbed in 2025. People on the internet are starting to wonder about some of the strange details of this case, speculating that there must have been a reason why she fled with her daughter to Florida. Living what seems to be a safe, happy, normal life under an alias. People are thinking that maybe she was fleeing something or didn't feel safe. People also think it's strange that Joe just couldn't be reached during the investigation, so they closed the case. One way or another, there is for sure a lot more to this case, but for now, Joe seems to be very happy to be reunited with Michelle.
I can't explain that moment walking in and get to put my arms back around my daughter.
All right, this brings us to quick news. Ring my bell. All right, in our first quick story, the most watched shows right now. All right, we've been doing this for the past couple of months. Weekly, we tell you guys about the most streamed shows because y'all know I love a streaming show. Number 1, The Reckoning, Sean Diddy Combs, 2.3 billion hours. That's crazy. Is it hours or minutes? I think it's hours. Oh no, here it is. Minutes, estimated minutes, 2.3 billion minutes. Landman at 1.3 bill. The Abandons at 1.3 bill. Love and Unaliving 1.1, and The Staircase 762 mil. Netflix, Sean Combs of The Reckoning, continues to dominate the streaming landscape, rising to the number 1 most watched title on Netflix since its December 2nd release. While the series had prompted public debate, including differing statements from Diddy's team and Netflix regarding content and sourcing, it remains a focal point across entertainment and media. Boy, was I wrong about this documentary. 2.3 billion minutes, crazy. I think last time I saw on 50's Instagram, I think it's number 1 in like 51 countries. I still hang my error on the fact that industry people don't like the documentary. Think maybe, things were put in different sequences. The latest is Tiffany Haddish. She was like, I don't know if all those things were true. And, the narrative was a little bit weird, but it was tantalizing to watch. So, we've heard Marlon Wayans, we've heard, Jim Jones, we've heard, et cetera, various amounts of different people. So the industry questions it, but hey, Netflix is winning, 50 is winning. We do have something with 50 Cent in our fourth quick story. I should have put it in the second quick story, whatever. But 50 is getting a lot of backlash in the industry. I think we talked about this like 2 days ago. He's the most hated person in the industry for various amounts of reasons. But, at the end of the day, I don't know, I sit on the fence. I know they have beef and it goes deep. So I don't necessarily blame him. That whole thing that people are saying, a black man should have gone against another black man. Look, they have their own thing, right? Like Charlamagne said, Diddy did a lot of things to other black people. So how do you, quantify that? Anyways, my thing is the way how he put it together is misleading. So that's the thing that I agree with some backlash he's getting. But 50 is 50 and he really doesn't care. Anyway, shout out to 50 and Netflix. All right, in our second quick story. All right, this story comes from my nephew. He texted me yesterday and he's like, type 6'7" in Google. That's it. I was like, okay. This is hilarious. Look at what happens. I'm going to put it beside me. Look what happens when you type in 6'7". This started from hip hop, rap, basketball to taking over Google. This is the power. This is the power of the culture, people. Shout out to Google for keeping up with the times. Some would argue that like it's over and it's past, but like I said a couple of days ago, I think this is something that's going to stay forever and just linger and be something. Will still annoy a lot of people, but that's why it's going to stay forever, because it's like, are you serious? Let me know what you guys think about Google in the comment section below. All right, and our third quick story. The Oscars are moving to YouTube beginning 2029. Will stream free worldwide. Yo, shout out to our number one platform, YouTube. Shout out to content creators. We have been talking a lot this week about platforms, Paramount, Netflix, YouTube. I love this. I love it. I'm not going to geek out today. The past 2 days, I've literally been going on for 10 minutes about how important this is to the world and especially content creators. We are the future. And this is just even more proof. So I'll read this one quickly. The Oscars are leaving ABC and moving to YouTube beginning 2029. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Do you know how crazy that is? The Oscars, the biggest award show in the world, like the biggest red carpet, the biggest money, the biggest stars, the biggest whatever, they're leaving ABC and going to YouTube. YouTube! Come on! You know what this means for the Trent Out Loud show 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? This is so cool, man. The Academy of Motion Pictures and Arts and Science and YouTube signed a multi-year deal that will give YouTube the exclusive global rights to the Oscars beginning in 2029, with the 101 Oscar ceremony and running through 2033, read a statement. The Oscars, including the red carpet coverage, behind-the-scenes content, governor's ball access, and more, will be available live and for free to over 2 billion viewers around the world on YouTube, and to YouTube TV subscribers in the United States of America. Da-na-da-na-na, da-na-da-na-na. Hey, I was right, y'all. I was right. I was right to start this show. I was right to keep on going, and I'm going to be right to keep on going. The future is here on our platforms. Shout out to the content creators. All right, we're going to touch this quickly, like we said in our first quick story. In our fourth quick story, 50 Cent releases alleged audio of Jim Jones' landlord claiming he owes between $80,000 and $180,000 in unpaid rent for a podcast studio. I'm selling you half the company. I'm pretty sure we told you about this yesterday. Anyways, 50 beefing with Mano, Jim Jones, etc. Typical 50 Cent fashion. He's going to just keep on going until you surrender. Found out that Jim Jones and the Let's Rap About It podcast owes rent money. And yeah, we did tell you this yesterday. Oh no, we told you this 2 days ago. Yeah, it was even our cover. Anyways, 50 Cent put out the audio of him actually speaking with the landlord. Take a listen.
Want to rent it. And I said, okay, fine. Right? He's been saying this for since October. And so he keeps trying to build it, but he won't sign the lease. He's like, I don't like these terms. We also have a partnership agreement where half of what he's building now, his media, belongs to us. So half of the content he's creating, if you want to buy that too, I'll sell you half the company.
Okay. It's a minute long or longer than that. Anyways, apparently Jim Jones paid the $200,000. 50 Cent commented back to the landlord and say, hey, you see how I helped you get paid? If you have any further problems with them, just let me know. I'll get them to pay. Then Jim Jones in his story says, imagine you hating on someone and they just keep winning. Wake up, goofies. I don't know if this means you just keep on winning, Jim, Mano, and all of them. This pretty much looks like an L. You thought you were slick, holding back money, not paying, using the podcast space, using the studio, and you were getting away with whatever you were getting away with. And it seems like the landlord didn't have much much legal rights. I'm not too sure contractually if he was going to go to the rental board or what, but it seems like, he didn't have enough to pressure you and you took advantage of that. Well, you paid now. So this is an L. This is not you winning because you didn't want to pay. You probably would have gotten away much longer not paying, but because 50 called you out, you had to pay. And now you're out $200,000. Not taking anyone's side, but sorry, let's rap about it. And Jim, Mano, Fab, Davies. This is an L and a win for 50. 50 just keeps on winning. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. All right, y'all. This brings us to everyone's favorite segment, comments and social discussion of the day. All right, before we get to that, I have a very important question to ask y'all. Is your computer, laptop, or cell phone vulnerable to data breaches? Let me please answer that question for you. Yes, they are, all three of them. If you're not using Aura, the all-in-one digital security platform, please go to my sponsor below, aura.com/Trent Out Loud, to get your free 14-day trial to see if any of your data has already been exposed. Yes, if you're ever wondering, hey, is my credit card, is my social security, is my address, is my phone number online? With this free trial, you could see if any of your information has already been leaked, and they will remove it for you all for free. If you're ever wondering how scammers get your cell phone number or why your inbox is filled with spam, this is why. There are companies called data brokers, and they sell your data when you buy something online, and they do it without your consent, and they make billions of dollars selling it to marketers, scammers, and even scarier, selling it to stalkers. This is why I recommend today's sponsor, Aura, to my family, friends, and outlouders. Aura takes care of the hard part for you, automatically removing your information, credit card, social security number, off of these websites and keeping it off. Aura is an all-in-one digital security platform. You may already have a digital security tool, but not having Aura is like locking your front door and keeping your back door open. With Aura, you get alerts if any of your personal information is ever found on the dark web, real-time fraud alerts for credit card or banking information, a secure VPN, antivirus, password manager, and they also have US-based around-the-clock customer service. Also, in the event that anything should ever go wrong, Aura also includes a $5 million identity theft insurance protection package. Go to my sponsor below, go to the link below, QR code beside me. Like I said, it's absolutely free for 14 days. If you've ever wondered if any of your information is online, you can find out now. And if you find information, they'll remove it for you. All right. Let's go to, I got 3 super thanks yesterday. First one is from Baby K. Congratulations, TOL. You are great. I love watching you. You have the best content, and it's all on point. Keep up the great work. Merry Christmas from Galveston. I think I'm pronouncing it right. Galveston, Texas. Thank you. This is from the yesterday's episode where we let you guys know, because of y'all on Spotify, we are the top 1% of all video shows over on Spotify. And we also got 3 awards like Rising Star Award, Marathon Award, and something else. So shout out to you guys. And of course, Baby K63, thank you very much for the congratulations and the super thanks. Next one, I am so afraid to try to pronounce this name. Delcia, I think. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Thank you very much for the super thanks. Thanks. Congratulations on the 1% from Valencia, California. Phenomenal work. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that city or your name wrong, but thank you very much for the super thanks. And lastly, Minerva's in the building. Congratulations on your show's award and milestone. Well deserved. Keep doing you. Now, for those of you who watch the show daily, you know who Minerva is. Minerva made this painting or drawing, and this is me covering the Diddy trial in New York. at my corner that everybody knew was my corner. She came out, gave this to me. It's still on. It's actually on my Instagram when she surprised me with it. Go to my Instagram. It's actually pinned up there. And also the day the verdict came out, it was chaotic, and Minerva made a sign. It's actually still right over there, but I want to show you guys the painting. She made a sign that said Trent Out Loud's corner, and she stood there, wouldn't let anybody on my corner, man. Thank you so much, Minerva. Of course, thank you for the super thanks, but you'll be engraved, entrenched in my mind forever. Also, I was trying to find Minerva's just to give you a little plug here. I think it's Mind of Minerva. Hold on, let me check on my Instagram. Here, you could check out. Oh my gosh, sorry guys, you could tell I'm not prepared. I think her Instagram, Mind of. Oh my god, hold on, let me go get it. Oh my gosh, I was right the first time. mindofminerva.com. Anyways, that's the background thing. So you want to check out or get any of her work. And here is the sign she put here for me. Trent Out Loud's NYC corner. She's like, yo, you can't stay here. Hilarious. Minerva, I love you. Thank you so much. Okay, so that is super thanks. Today's comments I already put up in the Candace Owens behind the feed. So if you want to go to see just the normal comments, you can find them in behind the feed and off the record. We read 2 comments there. So now we are going to move to letting you guys know how to give your own super thanks. Oh, also, sorry. By the way, also want to thank everybody for just the congratulations. There were so many comments on under yesterday's show, congratulating us, congratulating the 3 awards, and being the top 1% show on Spotify. So thank you all of you guys for the comments and the congratulations and the well wishes. Y'all know I look every night at all the comments, so we've seen everything. Thank you very much for that. Okay, that's another reason why I didn't want to pick out a comment today. I want to highlight everyone's well wishes. Okay, so to tell y'all how to give your own super thanks. Super thanks came as a result of people saying, hey, do you have PayPal? Do you have Venmo? We want to give back to the show. You work so hard. And the best way, the way that I love to get any, support or whatever, is through the thanks button. Why I like the thanks button is that it's already here on YouTube. It's right underneath every single video. You can just press that thanks button. You get a dial. You can select any amount that you would like to give. And then you can replace the thanks with a comment of whatever you would like to say, whether it be good, bad, feedback, congratulations, or whatever. I'll get a notification. It's like sending me a text message. I'll heart it, like it, comment right away, reply right away, and then I'll read your comment back the next day on the show if you would like. Here is YouTube explaining it better than I can. Y'all know I'm long-winded and just keep talking. So here is YouTube in 15 seconds.
Buy a super thanks by clicking the thanks button under your video. There are multiple price points a viewer can purchase that each have their own special one-time animation. As an added bonus, viewers will get to post a distinct, colorful comment in your video's comment section.
All right. Also, we'd like to tell you guys about the Out Loud membership. Sign up today. First link below or the join or membership button above me. With the membership, you get loyalty badges, emojis, member-only live stream, member-only videos, early access to new videos, and member shoutouts. And obviously, you also get access to my vlogs where we go to like deep dive. We'll tell you things about me, and it's a way to kind of like get to know me a little bit more for those who are interested. All right. So sign up to the Out Loud membership today. Okay. Whew. Let's get to. I'm so excited. I still haven't seen too much in the comment section about social discussion. Please, guys, let me know if you like the fact that we are extending social discussion and not to just 1 to like 4-ish. I think I went like crazy the other day. I did like 10, but I think a good like 4 or 5. I love it. Okay. Let me know if you like it, because like I said, you guys are my co-host. Okay, so the first one is, what's your favorite non-physical trait in your partner? Men, what is your favorite? I want to ask everybody, but this is, men, what is your favorite non-physical trait in the woman you love? Mental intelligence, femininity, emotional maturity, supportive nature. So it deep dives into each one. So mind and intellect, How she thinks, communicates is huge for me. You guys know I am a talker. I'm a communicator. I need communication. And engages in meaningful conversation. That goes with communication. I can conversate all day, all night. So this is high for me. Femininity, her energy, grace, and how she carries herself in relationships. This is so high for me. For me, feminine energy is the most attractive thing to me. Grace, of course. And I love how they say here how she carries herself in a relationship. I feel like I could go on and on about that forever. Like how you carry yourself beyond me, not for me. Like I never want to tell any girl to be like, you need to be like this, da, da, da. How you decide with your values based on you and how you carry yourself in a relationship. Like what things are important to you. Love to see that. And that ties back into femininity. But feminine energy is so attractive to me because I have such male energy. Like I love being a man. Like I love being a protector. I love being a provider. I love a girl that's girly, like feminine. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel that's super, super attractive. Emotional maturity. Whoo! Love this. Accountability, which it's really, really difficult for people to take accountability. I feel like you need a really mature person for that. Self-awareness. Woo! I was speaking with somebody about this the other day, and self-awareness to me is taking what other people say about you because you are in your own body. You don't see you. Other people, it's like watching a show. So I feel, not to say that everyone's opinion, but especially somebody who I respect or someone who I close to, I feel like self-awareness is your own self-awareness. But I think somebody that is self-aware will also take opinions of others to help with their self-awareness. But ultimately, you have to make the final decision. And the ability to handle conflict without chaos. That's real emotional maturity. And that's kind of what we talked about yesterday. Not everything is going to be amazing. There's going to be good times. There's going to be bad times. And how do you handle conflict without having chaos? Love that. Supportive nature, encouragement, belief in her partner, and being emotionally present. I love this. I love this. I love this. I think this really goes both ways. A supportive nature. You cannot just have a woman being supportive to a man and a man not being supportive to each other. This is yin and yang. You guys are one. But I love encouragement. I love this even in like friendships, like my guy friends or family or whatever. I like supportive, encouraging, very, very positive people. Belief in her partnership. I always talk about partnership, so I need my girl to have that kind of belief. And being emotionally present is kind of like what we talked about, emotional maturity. So we won't go back into that. So I think if you put that all together, like we're going to talk about this in the last social discussion, so I'll say some of it. But if you just listen to what I just said or even rewind and listen to all that, imagine you have all of that. Like what else do you need? So I feel like non-physical far outweighs physical. And of course, physical is important. You need to be attracted to the person or whatever. But I think when you find somebody that has the non-physical traits that you like, this just so happens to be like my dream girl. Like if God said, hey, you could put a woman together, it would be all these four mixes. It would be everything. And I'd be like, I'm in love forever. So you have to find men out there and women. You have to find out what your non-physical traits are. But my point is that if we focus more on the non-physical traits, I feel like you'll have a better marriage. I feel like you have a better relationship because that physical, it cannot last. You're not going to look physically how you look at 70, 80, 90, or 100. Or what if something happens? There's an accident or whatever. Like that could change. And the non-physical, when you really hone in, the person's physical becomes so attractive to you because you're so attracted to the non-physical. All right. I'm going to save the rest for the fourth social discussion. Kind of went off, but so I want to expand this segment because I love it. Let's go to the second one. All right, in our second social discussion, no man will give you more advice than a man that wants you to be his wife. It's a pretty bold statement. Take a listen.
No man will give you more advice than a man who want to make you his wife. Because when you messing with a man that want to be with you for the rest of his life, for the most part, he gonna try to teach you everything he know. If he feel like it's something you lacking in, he gonna try to teach you everything you know. He keep people from around you. That man gonna want the best for you.
Okay, I agree with this 110%. Some men don't even realize this. Like, I've had some of my friends that are like, yo, I really like this girl. And then like, you know, I was with her and then like, oh, I just wanted her to leave like that night, or I wanted her to leave like first thing in the morning. And they're like, oh, I don't really know why. And they think like it's just like a physical thing, right? Like post clarity. But the like when you like want to be around somebody after the fact, and when you want to talk to that person, and when you hear that person say something and you're like, oh, I want to share this with you, or I want to encourage you, or I want you to know this, I want you to know that. And as the relationship goes on, you might like hear them say something and you're like, I want to try to make you a better person. Sometimes you don't even realize the reason why you want to make them better is because you want them in your life, and you don't want somebody that's misguided or making mistakes. Why would you want somebody like that around you, right? Same thing if you saw your sister or your friend or whatever. So that's when the relationship starts, if you ask me, and it goes past the physical things that y'all are doing. And what else was I going to say now? I had another point. Anyways, I don't remember what it was, but I 100% agree. It was something that he said. I can't remember. Anyways, I think I know what it was. I think it's that. Oh, I know what it was. Sorry. It's the fact that that's why I say quality time is the best love language. Because acts of service, which 100% I get it, or touch, or this, or whatever, and I have learned to respect everyone's version or everyone's reason for their, I forgot what it was, love language. I have learned to respect everyone's love language, but I would love to have this argument with somebody. I think quality time is the only one that can't be faked, because time, conversation, trying to better someone, because that's all time is, right? Time, what are you going to do? You're going to talk, you're going to get to know each other, you're going to have conversations, you're going to disagree, you're going to do this, you're going to do whatever. So time is time spent. To me, it's the only one out of the love language that can't be faked. You cannot be with somebody for 10 hours and talk and communicate and pour into, and they pour into you, and you talk about life and talk about the future and not care about that person. You're not going to sit down for 10 hours talking about life with somebody who you don't care about. Well, you could buy somebody a gift who you don't care about. You could have 3 girls and buy them gifts or touch. Quality time. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, our third social discussion. Do you hold your partner accountable? Take a listen.
Don't date an emotionally intelligent person if you're not ready to hear the truth. You know why?
Because they're going to call you out not to hurt you, but to wake you up. They're going to see right through your excuses, your patterns, and those walls that you build to protect yourself. They're going to notice when you're being avoidant. They're going to notice when you're projecting your pain onto them. And you know what? They're going to hold you accountable, because to them, real love isn't about pretending that everything's okay. To them, it's about growth. So don't date someone emotionally aware if you're still in love with your comfort zone, because they will push you to see yourself. And once you do, you just can't unsee it. They're going to love you deeply, but they're also going to challenge that version of you that hides behind your ego. And I'm telling you this just so you're ready, because that's where healing begins. They're going to push you toward the version of yourself you keep avoiding. That's where real growth starts.
I 100% agree with this. The thing that I think is hard for me to compute is somebody that would want to push that away. But maybe it's because I see that as love. So like she's saying, don't date somebody that wants to hold you accountable. Don't date somebody that this or whatever. I couldn't see myself being with a girl that is like, hey, you said this. Why aren't you doing this? And, you know, putting a mirror to my face and holding me accountable and doing this and doing that or whatever. I wouldn't push that person away. I would bring them closer to me and be like, oh my gosh, this girl loves me and this girl wants to be with me and this girl wants the best for me and wants everything for me. So I agree. I just could never see myself in that. And I can't see how somebody wouldn't want that in their life. How could you not want everything that she's saying? But that's because that's all I want. Maybe some people want just an easygoing life and just want somebody to have fun with. So I agree because that's the type of person I am. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Okay, our fourth social discussion. Okay, this comes from somebody who sent this to me last night. We text back and forth for about 20, 30 minutes and then got on a FaceTime. And then I was up for literally like 2 hours, 3 hours thinking about it. So it's been on my mind a lot. I'm going to play the video that caused her to send me this video. Okay, so this is from yesterday. And then I'll play you the video that she played after this. Okay, so here is yesterday's video.
Pretty don't even ensure that you will get a ring. Men don't marry looks. We have switch looks. Men marry behavior. Your behavior determines whether you get the ring or not the looks. So if you are not even proficient at the things that are intrinsically important to a man, you can't be high value. You being soft is. You anticipating what we need and providing that without us having to prompt you or ask you, that's important.
Okay, so that video was clearly about this guy saying, yo, it's not about looks for me at all. It's about, you know, being there, supportive and this or whatever, etc. And it's not about beauty for him. So then she sent me this video, and I want to say, I'm not going to read too much because I want to like keep the person's privacy. So she sent me this video and says, this is a bit related to one of today's social discussions. So just to be fair, not saying this is exact, but it's like, hey, this is a bit of correlation. Listen to the video.
Men judge men based off their woman. If a guy comes in and his woman is stunning and she looks beautiful and classy, all of a sudden, I'm like, what does that guy do? On the opposite end, if a woman that I feel is showing or showcasing some level of disrespect to her man, I have less respect for that man.
Okay, I don't think like the disrespect part has anything to do. She's obviously talking about the beginning where a guy walks in with a classy, beautiful girl, and I am like, hey, what does that? I just want to make sure. Hey, what does that guy do? So he walks in with a beautiful, classy woman. This guy says, hey, what does this guy do? So she writes, he's showing the male perspective where wife's beauty represents a status symbol. I think what he means is if a man is with a very attractive woman, people assume he's successful. So when a man enters a room with a beautiful woman by his side, it signals that he likely has something going on. And then I wrote back, I'm like, yo, thank you so much. I'm going to use this tomorrow. But then I said, is Michelle Obama a stunningly beautiful dime piece? And I'm not saying that she's not attractive, but let's use stereotype the, beauty standards. Okay. Is Michelle Obama a 10 dime piece? I wrote back, is Mark Zuckerberg's wife a 10 dime piece? Like IG super classy, stunning woman when she walks in the room is Warren Buffett. And then she wrote back and said, I know, I'm not saying I agree. I'm just showing you what he sees. Then I continued to say Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Ted Turner. She then talks about Jeff Bezos, now his new wife. Anyways, and I said, their wives, these men, and these men are all billionaire men that have effectively changed and impacted the world. So to me, they have done something beyond money. And I said, all of their wives, not saying that they're ugly wives or whatever, but I'm saying they're not the, oh my gosh, the room shuts down, beautiful, classy, etc. And I said, but they are all brilliant wives. They were all educated, and they played a part in building and helping their man's success. You'll hear about this all the time, that behind every successful, strong man is a stronger woman. So she wrote back, said, I repeat, I'm not saying I agree with what he's saying. I just sent you that because it relates to the topic. And so I wrote back and I said, listen, I know you kind of agree. And that's okay because you can agree to disagree. Then I went on to kind of just keep talking my point. And I'll let you know my point after. She said, look, yes, I do agree with the fact that people will look and want to know what a man has going on. That's for sure. With an average girl, he might not get that attention. I'm not saying all that man is the woman. Sorry, I am not at all saying that men should be with women only because she's beautiful. Again, I don't want to read too much, but so her point is saying the video, which I want to play now to prove my point. I agree with what she's saying. I agree that some people, like this guy, will look at a guy with a classy, beautiful, stereotypically 10 on 10 woman when he walks in the room and think, yo, what does this guy do? I agree there's some people like that. Let's go back and play this video. Listen.
Men judge men based off their woman.
Okay, let's stop it right there. Men judge men off of their woman. 100%. Now let's continue, and this is where I feel he makes a mistake.
If a guy comes in and his woman is stunning and she looks beautiful and classy, all of a sudden, I'm like, what does that guy do?
This lets me know the room that this guy is in his head. So let me give you examples. The guy that wants to walk in a room with a stunningly, classically beautiful lady knows that the men at the restaurant, at the club, at the gas station, these average dudes are going to see him and be like, oh, yo, you see that girl he's with? Yo, what does he do? Because they're in the restaurant or in the club, they're at the gas station. Those are average dudes. But you take that same guy and you take that same girl and you walk into a business conference, or you walk into a room with a Jeff Bezos, a Barack Obama, a Ted Turner, a Warren Buffett, leaders, people that shifted the world, they're not going to look and say, oh my gosh, what does this guy do? Because he's with a beautiful 10 on 10. So the guy that wants a girl that is quote unquote a 10 on 10 so that people could look at him and say, she's a status. They're doing that for the clubs. They're doing that for the restaurant. The guy, like me, who wants to walk into a room with people who have changed the world, those guys are not going to look at her looks. They're going to walk up and say, pretty girl. They're going to say, what do you do? And they're going to talk to her, and they're going to this, and they're going to that, whatever, da-da-da. And after a 5-minute conversation, they're going to say, beautiful girl, but there's nothing in her head. Beautiful girl, but she wasn't able to hold a conversation. Beautiful girl, that da-da-da-da-da. And they're not going to say, well, what do you do? They're going to be like, vice versa now. If I walk into a room with a girl who is, again, hate to stereotype, but a average girl, 7, 8, do you think those guys are going to judge? No, because they're not in the gas station, and they're not in the restaurant, and they're not in the club. They're not superficial. Barack Obama knows if he's going to become the president of the United States, he knows he doesn't need to walk in those rooms with an IG 10 on 10. He knows he doesn't need a classy lady. He knows he doesn't care about what the guy at the gas station thinks about his girl. He knows that he needs a Michelle Obama at home, a lawyer, somebody who's going to hold him accountable, somebody who's going to be the first lady, because he knows in his head he's going to be the president one day. And he knows that he cannot sit down in that White House as a 2-term president and be effective with a woman who is not holding him accountable and holding him and is going to be by his side, that he can come to and say, baby, what do I do about this? And what do I do about that? Same thing with Jeff Bezos. Same thing with Warren Buffett. Same thing with Mark Zuckerberg. Look at all of these guys. I'll challenge you. Look at men that have had an effect on this world. I'm not talking about somebody who has 5, 10, 20 million. I'm not talking about those guys. I know what those guys want. I know what rappers and basketball players and people in the entertainment industry want. I've been around it my whole entire life. I know what they want. They want to show up on IG. They want to show up at restaurants. They want to show up to award shows. They want to show up to the club. And they want to be like, oh, yo, look at him. That's who I want. Without even talking to the girl. Why would I be impressed that you have a beautiful, classy woman on your arm? How can I come to that conclusion? How can I be impressed with, how can I come to a conclusion if I haven't spoken to her? Now, that's not to say, for example, Gucci Mane, his wife, he went to jail. He left his wife $2 million. He came out and she had $6 million. We saw what she does with his bipolar and how she helps him and studied it and understood it. And she's by his side and has changed his life. So please don't get me wrong. I'm not saying a beautiful, classy woman cannot be a Michelle Obama type of woman, or a woman that can be by her man's side and be a pillar and be the queen on the chessboard that moves around to protect and ensure that her family and her man goes out in the world and is safe. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that just because she's a 10 and she's classy and she's beautiful doesn't automatically mean that this guy is doing something. And unfortunately, in today's world, they're probably going to assume the worst, because they're going to assume that he's just with a pretty girl for that, because that's just how society is, which is not fair. You can't just say just because a girl is a gorgeous, classy girl that she doesn't have anything in her head. But I'm saying that room, they're probably going to be like, oh, this guy's rich and just got a trophy wife. My point is that we need to stop looking at the physical and thinking anything, smart or not smart, if she's smart or not smart. Judge on what's inside. And once I talk to her and I find out, like, dude, this girl is smart. This girl is amazing. This girl is supportive. This girl is insightful. This girl is whatever, and I'm going to be like, yo, what's your man do to get a girl like you? Not because she's pretty, because that prettiness is going to fade, like what we talked about in the first one. So I don't know why this got me so worked up. Like I told you, we FaceTime for like 40 minutes and I literally was thinking about it. But what I was saying on the FaceTime with her is I would, of course, love a beautiful girl, like for sure. That's nice. But more what I want from my wife, and I think this was like the thing that she understood the most, is I want to be with somebody who I'm afraid to navigate life without her. Barack Obama would be afraid to go through life without Michelle because she is his rock. Not that he can't make a decision without her, not that he can't make a final decision, but that he respects her so much. He admires her so much that he doesn't want to make a move without getting her 2 cents. And her 2 cents to him is $1 million. It holds that much weight. He talks about that. I spoke to Michelle before I ran for president. I spoke to Michelle before this. I spoke to Michelle before that. He's not in love with her because of how she looks. He's in love with her because he knows that he had aspirations for himself. He knew he had aspirations for his family. And he knows that he needed a girl like Michelle Obama to help him navigate through life, because life is not easy. I really hope I was able to get my point across. Men and women, think about navigating through life. Think about what you want and choose that person accordingly. You want to sit down in a condo with 2 kids and just live life and not do anything? I admire people like that. Please choose that person accordingly. There's a lot. I respect that. My sister's like that. She wants her house, she wants her kids, she wants her job, and that's it. You pick the person that matches that. You got to pick the person that matches that. And regardless of that, I do not think it should be physical. I think it should be the person that matches the intentions that you have for your life. Woo! I think I did a good job. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, this brings us to question of the day. Woo, went to a little deep dive there. All right, where is the question of the day? Do I even? This, because it's an unorthodox question of the day. Yo, this one is fun. I'm going to kind of go off a little on this too. Who's got to get up from the table for Mariah Carey to have a seat? Okay, this is so fun. Okay, for those who are not seeing this on video or not watching your screen right now, I'm going to tell you who's at the table, okay? And then we're going to run down and I'm going to tell you who I think should get up, if somebody should get up. There's Mary J. Blige, Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, who's at the head of the table, by the way, Whitney Houston, Marvin Gaye, Luther Vandross, Janet Jackson. Let's go through all of them. Mary J. Blige. Vocally, Mariah Carey is better, for sure. You could say sales, number ones, or whatever. Mariah. The difference, though, is that Mary J. Blige created a sound and a movement. She's a queen of hip-hop soul. She cannot get up because nobody else could take that seat because she created her own lane. Stevie Wonder, I think we can all say, we don't even have to talk about that. Mariah wouldn't even want to talk about that. Aretha Franklin, we cannot talk about that. Beyonce, that's a conversation. Again, vocally, Mariah has her. I think probably even with number ones and sales and stuff, fine. But again, Beyonce has transcended generations. People joke around and say, yo, we're all on Beyonce's internet. So with Jay, Blue, people looking like, oh, we're aunties. Blue Ivy is my niece. Like, because she transcended generations and because she's so impactful, nobody else could take her place. Cannot have her get up. Michael Jackson, I think we know there's no conversation. Now, Whitney Houston is the interesting one because Whitney Houston is the only one at this table that could match Mariah vocally. So if you want to talk about vocals, because When you talk about Mariah Carey, you talk about her number ones and you talk about her vocals. She's one of the best vocalists. Whitney Houston is known as the voice. They were both on Oprah Winfrey when they had that song together. I forgot the name of the song. But you could tell that when they're together, that Mariah knows that she is in the presence of somebody who can outdo her vocally. I think Mariah would answer that question. So of everybody in this seat, Whitney is there, of course, for her number ones and impact and everything she's done. But at this table, she is the voice. So you cannot ask the voice to get up for voice number 2 or voice number 3. Because in voice, you still have Patti LaBelle, you still have Celine Dion, you still have Christina Aguilera, you still have a bunch of people that you could put there. So Whitney can't get up because Whitney, if you ask all of those people, they would say Whitney has to stay there. Marvin Gaye, again, nothing to talk about. Luther, unfortunately, like I wouldn't say he's Marvin Gaye level, but still nothing to talk about. Like you can't ask Luther to get up. And then you have Janet Jackson. She didn't create anything, a move or a sound or anything like a Mary J. Blige. She doesn't have the vocals like a Mariah. She does, however, have not the same amount of number ones, and she's an incredible dancer. But because she is part of the Jackson family, and because she came before Mariah, and she is still a trailblazer on her own, I feel like this is the only one that could question, because Mariah has vocals and number ones. And just with All I Want for Christmas, just put her at the longest number one of all times. I think it's at 20 weeks now. And every Christmas is going to be 21, 22. So she's going to have the song that's at the most number one. So she has a voice and number one. If you ask me, this is the only one that's up for conversation, or a good conversation. But Janet, because she's a Jackson, because she's been around so long, because of her impact, because of her dancing, like you have people like Sierra that are like, I'm trying to be a Janet Jackson. You don't see too many people saying, I'm trying to be a Mariah Carey, or Mariah Carey is my inspiration. So for that reason, although it's very close, I'm still going to keep that seat for Janet Jackson, and unfortunately tell the person that maybe has the second greatest or third greatest vocals of all times and has the most number one, I'm sorry, when it comes to culture and impact, you cannot have a seat at this table. I'm sorry, Mariah, and I love Mariah Carey, but you cannot ask anybody at this table to get up. Let me know what you guys think, who should get up, in the comment section below. All right, y'all. Yo, we had a fun show. Well, I had a fun show. Thank you so much for kicking with me. Before I let you go, I just want to remind you of 3 things. 1, for those of you who are looking to give back to the show, please use that thanks button below. And do not forget to replace that thanks with a comment. Y'all know I love my comments. Second of all, please sign up for the Out Loud membership today. First link below, or you'll see the join button above me. Become an Out Louder today. I'm in a really good mood. And third thing, give back to yourself with the second link below, QR code beside me. Absolutely 100% free. If you're ever wondering if any of your information has leaked, Aura can let you know of your information that is out there, and they'll remove it for you absolutely free for 14 days. Okay? Before I let you guys go, just want to remind you of all the ways to keep up with the Trent Out Loud show. For those of you who like to listen to shows like this, head on over to any podcast site, type in Trent Out Loud, the show will pop up. Do not forget to hit the follow and subscribe button so you can be notified every time we upload a new show, and we upload daily, 7 days a week. Now, if you're like me and you like to watch shows like this, head on over to YouTube, type in Trent Out Loud. 6 things I'm going to need you to do over on YouTube. First 2 is hit that subscribe and hit that like button, get the algorithming. Third thing, please try to comment in the comment section below. Everybody asks, how do you do a show by yourself? I don't do a show by myself. I do it with you guys. You guys are my co-host. So please try to join in on the conversation. Now, I don't want to make anybody feel pressured. For those who don't want to join in on the conversation, please let me know in the comment section below which country or city you're watching from. Every night before I go to bed, I look at all the comments, and I love to see how global the show is. So if you don't want to join in on the conversation, you can at least let me know the country and city that you're watching from. The fourth thing is, for those who are really enjoying the show, please try to share it with your family, friends, and loved ones, because it helps them grow in the channel. And you guys hear me say this repeatedly. We are really, really trying hard to grow this community and this channel. So sharing it helps us a lot. We appreciate you. Fifth, sign up for the Out Loud membership. And number 6, do not be afraid to use that thanks button below and give back to your favorite YouTube host. For those of you who want to follow me outside this show, I'm available on all social platforms. It's also the same handle, Trend Out Loud. I'm the most active on Instagram. And speaking of Instagram, please try to follow our show page, The Trend Out Loud Show, on the gram. However it is that you watch this show, whether it be at night, whether it be in the morning, getting ready for bed, on your way home from work, at the gym, or whatever, we hope we were able to make your night, your day, your exercise, or your drive a little bit easier and a little bit more fun. And we also hope we made you think a little. I'll see you back here tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace! Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy, Trend Out Loud. Peace!